All right, it's time to talk one of the potentially hottest releases of 2025 so far. Of course, we're going to be talking about the newest Angels Share Kilian Paradis. This is going to be a flanker, of course, of the very hot and sought after Angels Share. This is one of the most copied fragrance DNAs out there to date. Guys, if you want to know all about this fragrance, how it compares, and if it's worth your time and money, you know how it goes. Stick around, it's coming up next. Welcome back to another video. 𝗥𝗿𝗄𝗏 here. If you do love to make a great and lasting impression, you know that smelling good is a great way to start. And start you will. We're going to talk about, of course, Paradis Angels Share from the house of Kilian. This is their newest iteration of course, the original Angels Share released back in 2020. This fragrance here has people talking about it as perhaps one of the hottest, most sensual, seductive fragrances of 2025 thus far. Let's dive into this one. Let me give you guys my thoughts on this one, how it compares with the original from 2020, and of course, if it's worth your time and money, because it's actually more expensive than the OG. But before we get into it, let's digress a little bit. Let's get into the presentation of this particular fragrance. And of course, looking at the presentation in comparison to the OG from 2020, it's pretty much apples to apples. It comes in this, cardboard box and has this, faux woody kind of a label. It's nothing really intricate, not like the lacquered boxes that we become accustomed with the house of Kilian. This is a more, for lack of a better word, conservative, sustainable approach, if you will. But the actual bottle themselves has suffered or endured some upgrades. No longer has the plastic, which was a cheap, kind of a conversion with the original 2020. It now has an upgraded cap, which is a wooden cap with the metal plate up top. The sprayers are actually pretty nice, really beautiful mist. This is actually going to be a full review. I've been wearing this fragrance quite a bit, for the last 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, going on 3 weeks now. So I know a lot about this fragrance to let you know and exactly how it compares to the original. If it's better, if it's not better, if it's overpriced, so on and so forth. So all I can say is the sprayers are incredible, presentation is really nice, an upgrade from the original. By the way, both Angels Share Original and Paradis are offered in one size only, the size you've seen in this video, which is the 50 ml 1.7 ounce. The original one retails for $275 and the new one retails for $385. Looking at the color of the juice, the new one seems to be a little darker. We're gonna find out why it's darker and if it's any better than the OG. So what I'm gonna do here, on my left hand, I'm actually going to spray the original 2020 release, and on my right hand, I will spray the new Paradis. Like I said, I wore this quite a bit, so I know the intricacies, the ins and outs, but when you first spray this on, one thing right off the bat is Paradis is going to be extremely boozy, so if you like that cognac infusion that you had with your original, you're definitely gonna have that here, which is amazing. I'm a big fan of boozy fragrances, so right off the rip, it is an amazing smelling fragrance. Now, the OG, it's definitely gonna be boozy. It's gonna be very heavy on the cinnamon / creamy sandalwood, cinnamon. That boozy, very soothing, smooth, captivating kind of accord that it has. Comparisons with the original, of course, 𝗕𝗏𝗏 from Hermès comes to mind, and of course, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 from Parfums de Marly also comes to mind. But I have to tell you, to be honest with you, the original, the 2020 Angels Share, to me, it's a step above both of the fragrances I just talked about because of the smell and the performance itself. It's an absolutely stunning juice, hence the fact that it's made incredible lists out there. People love this fragrance. It's long performing. It smells amazing. It commands a price because it is a great smelling fragrance and it performs really well. So I think it outperforms both 𝗕𝗏𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏, hence the fact that people love this fragrance. So the scent profile is incredible. It harps into almost tobacco, territory. I know tobacco is not listed as a note. It's not a predominantly tobacco scent. It's more of an ambery, boozy kind of a scent. It's spicy, it's woody, sandalwood prominent. The original is absolutely stunning. Now, how it differs here with Paradis is Paradis has this cognac, raspberry, rose kind of an opening. So it is boozy like the original, but it goes into a floral / fruity kind of accord, which is, to be quite honest with you, when you compare them side by side, it's going to lean slightly more feminine than the original. I think the original is definitely more both are androgynous, of course. There's no sex and fragrance, if you will. But the original has this more masculine kind of approach. It's a woodier, spicier kind of a composition. This one here leans more fruity and floral type of composition, retaining the original DNA, but going more floral and fruity, hence being a little bit more feminine. The raspberry is the fruity note, and the floral note, of course, the note of a rose. It is really nice. It is very intricate. I don't know if I like it more, to be honest with you. I think I still do favor the OG, but let's leave that verdict, the final verdict, to the final of the video, at the end of the video. But they're both going to have that boozy, spicy, woody, extremely aromatic note. I dare say there's even a touch of lavender in both compositions, but the original Paradis is going to be a little bit more feminine because of that rose and fruity raspberry note. The OG Angels Share has that smooth, warm, creamy, woody, spicy kind of undertone that stays within the fragrance from beginning to end, which is also true to Paradis. However, the development phase here will definitely increase that fruity and floral kind of aspect as it gets to the 15-20 minute mark and warms up with your body. You're definitely gonna get those floral and fruity undertones very predominantly. That boozy facet stays throughout the life of the fragrance, which is great. It's my favorite part of the Angels Share DNA or scent profile, if you will. However, you have some tonka beans, oak, woodiness that starts to come through at this point, making the scent slightly woodier, which is nice. And at this point, it becomes quite similar, or closer, I should say, to the original Angels Share, but still having that fruity and floral nuances that will definitely make it slightly more feminine. There is a slightly oak moss touch in Paradis, which you do not have with Angels Share. I do get a more prominent lavender with the original, which is more aromatic. This one here, you do have an oak moss touch, making it greener and slightly smoky as well. I wish this particular oak moss woody facet, greener facet was more predominant, more forefront, because I do enjoy it a lot. But it's slightly there. It's just there for hints. It peeks its head here and there, the oak moss, but it's ever so smooth. It's not really the type of oak moss that I mostly like. I wish this had more of that fougere, oak moss, vetiver, lavender kind of more predominant nuance along with that boozy facet. But again, it remains more fruity and floral. The oak moss is here for support, and it peeks its head every now and again, giving hints of, the oak that I talked about, the woodiness with the green slightly peaks, but it's not really a green scent. Like I said, it's mostly an amber, spicy, fruity, floral type scent. It is really nice smelling, but I wish that oak moss was more predominant here. Both fragrances are extremely sensual. They're very seductive fragrances. Either way you go with, the original or Paradis, you're gonna smell great, you're gonna command attention, it's gonna be appealing, it's gonna be seductive, it's gonna be sensual, great for evening wear, romantic settings, more of a dresser kind of a situation. If you're gonna do daytime, I would say springtime, fall, and winter. Summertime, if you're gonna be in evening locations that are temperature controlled with air conditioning. If you're gonna be out in the heat, this can and will get cloying. But both of them are extremely seductive, sensual, and great smelling scents, no matter which one you pick. Whether you go with a more fruity and floral approach or a woodier, spicier, creamier, and warmer approach. I have to say though, in the dry down, these are mostly similar to each other because you have the tonka beans, the sandalwood, the vanilla, the nutty, cinnamon, almondy kind of a vibe that really peeks through and really makes these quite similar in the dry down phase. Like I said, the opening and development, these will differ quite a bit, not extremely, but quite a bit. But as it gets into the latter part of development, from the development transitional phase into the dry down, they get very similar to each other. Again, with the Paradis, the new one, leaning slightly feminine due to that fruity floral facet that it has. If you do love sandalwood-based scents, which I do, you're going to be very impressed with the sandalwood infused in both of these fragrances because the dry down, the sandalwood really peeks through. I don't know if it was my source sandalwood or what type of sandalwood it was utilized for the creation of these fragrances, but it is absolutely phenomenal. Sandalwood has this creamy, inviting, seductive, but also cozy and cocooning kind of effect. Both of these possess that incredible sandalwood in the base. So if you do like a sandalwood forward fragrance, especially in the dry down, you're gonna really enjoy both of these fragrances. As far as performance goes, they both gave me incredible performance. Beast when it comes to the actual projection. They both will project 2+ hours arm's length. So if you spray your clothes, you're going to be nuclear. Beware, if you spray your skin and your clothes, it's going to emanate like crazy. It's going to stay there. Scent bubble 6 to 7 hours. And of course, the longevity 12+ on these fragrances. If you spray your clothes, it's going to be there well into the next day. So be warned, these are beast mode fragrances. One more thing, due to the pralines that it has, especially from the heart into the dry down, it has this almost quote-unquote gourmand facet. It's not quite a gourmand, neither one of them, but they do have gourmand tendencies. So in other words, they're not going to be sickly or sticky sweet, but you must enjoy sweet forward fragrances to like these. They do have a sweeter kind of a profile to them. All right, final thoughts. Do I think the original is worth $275? Yeah, I can see that. Low twos to mid twos. You can find it at discounters. I think it's a decent price for a 50 ml. I wish these were 75 ml and not 50 ml, but it is what it is. However, the new one at $385 plus tax plus shipping, if you're looking at 400 plus, I think it's a little bit in the steep side, especially because I think it leans slightly more feminine than the original. I do really enjoy this one. And to be honest with you, to give you the bottom line here, I do favor the original better. I think this is something that I would wear more because it's more my vibe, my style. It's definitely more masculine, warmer, you know, deeper, warmer, smoother. It's definitely the stuff that I gravitate towards this one here because of that free floral kind of nuance. In the beginning, I didn't really love, but I'd be honest with you, it's growing into me. And you can see this is definitely growing on me. You know, the more I wear this one, the more I tend to enjoy it. And I can see it being something that I would wear more heavily in the winter time or later in the fall. But as we get closer to summer now, spring is coming along and then summer is gonna follow. So as the weather gets warmer, this is something that I'm not gonna wear, or for that purpose, I'm not gonna wear this one either. So both of these more for the fall and winter, of course, but Angels Share, the original, is one that I'm really going to be wearing the most, if I have to be honest with you. But this one here, I think, can potentially grow on me, but I think I would probably wear this mostly early spring and winter time. I think fall, I still gravitate towards the original Angels Share. This one has a more slightly feminine approach, if I can be honest with you, but both are great. In fact, I haven't tried yet, but I'm thinking about layering them and see what happens. Maybe, you know, having this one here at the base and this one on top, see what happens. You know, I'm definitely gonna try it. If you guys have layered these before, also share your experience below. So that's all I have for you guys today. My full thoughts on Angels Share by Kilian Paradis, the second iteration, the flanker of Angels Share, the original from 2020. Let me know in the comments if you guys have tried Paradis, if you do like it, love it, hate it. Either way, drop it below. And of course, if you do appreciate the channel, leave a like, subscribe for more, hit the bell so you get these videos straight into your feed. And of course, I will catch you right here with another one very soon. Take care.